Bishut Morai Verabotai, there is a question that why we are not allowed to eat the bread on Pesach. What it is the reason? What the problem of Hashem if we do a souvenir? We can eat chametz and we can eat matzah. The chametz, because we eat chametz all year, and the matzah, to remember that we were slaves in Egypt, and we used to eat hard bread. So what it is the reason why Hashem is telling us to do a big fight, a fight against the chametz? What it is the reason? Why? What the problem? What the problem? 8 days, 7 days in Eretz Israel, 9 days outside Eretz Israel, outside Israel, that we're not allowed to eat chametz, we're not allowed to have chametz in the house, we're not allowed to eat, to look at it, we're not allowed to have in our position chametz. And asur behana'ah, that means even to take a profit from the chametz, we're not allowed. Why? What it is the reason? What it is the reason? Why? Why it is? Why this fight against the chametz? Rabotai, you know there is the Torah said about a man that he suspects his wife, that she did something. So today there is nothing to do. Somebody who suspects his wife, he has a problem. But at the time when we had the Beit HaMikdash, was no problem. If somebody suspects his wife that she was not faithful to him, so he go to the Beit HaMikdash, he go to see the Kohen, and the Kohen, he will give her, he will warn her, did you do something? You've been with another man? And if she maintained her innocence and she reclaimed that she did nothing, so he will give her a glass of water. And that water, there is there the name of Hashem. If she did something, so she will die. She will be punished. And if she did nothing, if she was ugly, she'll be beautiful. If she had no children, she will have nice children. She will be rich. Hashem will give her a reward because of the shame that she has been through. But at the time, that was the solution for a man who suspects his wife. But one thing, and if she did something, so she has a problem. She will not stay alive. The problem, the question is, that woman, if she did something, why she don't admit she did? And that's it. If she admit that she did, she was with another man, so she will divorce her husband, and she will remain alive. But if she did something, why she says I did nothing? She knows that she will die. So why this maintenance that she mentioned? I did nothing. I swear I did nothing. Look, if you did something, you're gonna drink this water, you will die. No. I did nothing. Knowing that we don't joke in the Beit HaMikdash, we don't make a laugh of Hashem. She knows. So why she don't admit? And that's it. Leave. You will get the get, and that's it. Go home. The answer is the gava, the arrogance. Sometimes people like Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi, all those they were kings of the world. They knew that fighting against America, against the whole world, it will be a disaster for him. But gava, arrogance, he couldn't admit his defeat. Like Gaddafi as well. I feel so bad for them because they were like very, very strong people. And because of their arrogance, what was their end? One was shot to death, and the other one they hang him. And Hitler, all those people, and Paro as well. Paro said to Hashem, Mi Hashem asher yishma b'kolo. Who is Hashem? He got a lot of makot, and still he was fighting Hashem. Why? Why he was fighting Hashem? Paro, are you crazy? You know, with all the miracles that Moshe Rabbeinu did in front of him, I mean, admit your defeat. No, he will not admit his gava. Gava is something that, unfortunately, very, very, very bad. I think, my friend, this is the reason why HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He give us few days a year when we left Egypt. Hashem, he was very clever, Hashem. Hashem is fantastic. He think about everything. You know, we can be very clever, but we are nothing to compare to Hashem. Hashem is the one who give presents. He's the one who give chokhmah. He's the one who give all kind of solution. We are limited. We have a problem. We find a solution, but our solution is limited. But Hashem is unlimited. Ein Sof. Ein Sof. His light, it's Ein Sof. Everything with Hashem is Ein Sof. Ein Sof. There is no limit, no limit, unlimited, no limit, no limit, no limit. Hashem, it was very important for him that when the Jews left Egypt, they will live with a big emunah on him. That's why Hashem, he hit Paro many times. Why? Because Paro was a big Baal Gava. Like the bread that, the bread, it's the matzah is flat. The matzah is flat. But the bread is leavened. He's you put a small of chametz, la levure, and when you put the levure, you see you take a baguette, you weight the baguette, maybe 200 grams. But when you look at the baguette, you think the weight of the baguette is 2-3 kilos. But when you hold it in your hand, it's very, very, very light. The Gahava. It was very important for Hashem that when the Bnei Israel leave Egypt, they will live like a matzah, like the bread when he's unleavened and unleavened bread. It's a flat. It was very important for Hashem that the Bnei Israel, they will see Paro, what he did to him. All this gav of Paro was finished. So the souvenir that the Jews will have in their mind when they leave Egypt, it's, wow, what Hashem did to Paro. And what it is the symbol, what Hashem did to Paro, by eating the matzah. And that's why Hashem said to the Bnei Israel to do Korban Pesach, the sacrifice of Pesach. What was the sacrifice of Pesach? Why to be shoched a sheep? Because the Egyptian, their god was a sheep. They venerated the sheep. So can you imagine the day that the Bnei Israel they left Egypt, the smell of the grilled meat was all over Egypt. And the Egyptians, they were so angry, but they couldn't do nothing. Hashem took from them all the kawah that they had. That was the souvenir, how they left Egypt. The souvenir, how they left Egypt, it was, wow, how Hashem, he made fun of Paro. This Paro that he was Baal Gava, was arrogance, snob. Look what happened to him. What happened to Paro at the end? He said, he declared, Mi kamocha ba'elim Hashem. Who's like you, Hashem? Can you imagine this word? The one who said, Mi Hashem esheshma, because that man who said, who is Hashem that I will listen to his voice? That same man, he said, who are you? Who is like you, Hashem? There is no God to compare to you. That's the way the Bnei Israel left Egypt. My friend, you have to know one thing. 2 souvenirs. The Jews left Egypt with 2 souvenirs. The first one, a souvenir that we leave Egypt to serve Hashem. And to serve Hashem, you have to be flat, like a matzah, with no levure, with no chametz. We compare the Yitzhara as the chametz. The Tzara is the Chametz. Why? Because the Tzara, when he want to have you in his hand, he put in your mind, you're the best. You are a smart man. Who is like you? He make you forget that Hashem is the smart one. Hashem is the biggest. Hashem is the one that he can be proud. The Ga'ava, Adonai Malach Geot Labesh. The Ga'ava belongs to Hashem. Only Hashem can be proud. Only Hashem. There is only, because he's the Balabait. He is everything. There is a beautiful question that everybody asks about Shimshon. Shimshon was the strongest man. When he went to Timnata with his parents, he was attacked by some lions. And he killed them. He was very strong, Shimshon. Very, very strong. He killed them. And he killed them like he killed mosquitoes. Like mosquitoes. Wow, he took them like he killed two small mosquitoes. And it said, and Shuftim, and he did not say to his parent what he did. So all the rabbis has a question. But his parents, they were with him. Because it said in the Torah that Shimshon, his parents, they went to Timnata. So probably they saw what he did. So why the Torah said, and he did not say to his parents what he did? And I was thinking that Shimshon, when he was attacked, he was with his parents, but from far away he saw the lions. So he told his parents probably, wait for me here. And he went, and of course they attacked him because don't forget, Shimshon, he has no legs. Do you know that? That Shimshon has no legs. No legs. He used to go with his foot around the floor. Why Hashem did that? To show you that if Hashem wants to bring a refuah to somebody, even without legs, he can be. And Shimshon, he ruled the Bnei Israel for 40 years. 40 years, the Palestinians, they were afraid of him. That means, Hashem want to show you that even with no legs, he was the strongest man in the world. And look what he did to the lion. But what you have to know, that after he killed those lions, he didn't say it to his parents. Why? He was very, very anav. He was not Ba'al Ga'ava. What the purpose to tell to his parents what he did? To show his parents that he was strong. That was Shimshon. And that's why Hashem was with him. Anava. He was very humble. He did not tell usually, hey mama, papa, you know what happened now? I didn't want to make you afraid. I didn't want to frighten you. What happened? We were being attacked with 2 lions, I killed them. באמת? Can we see? And Shimshon, Anava. That all the tzaddikim Hashem, always he choose tzaddikim like Moshe Rabbeinu, humble tzaddikim. Not tzaddikim that they want to show off. That's why Hashem said when you choose on you a king, velo yarom levavo. Make sure that king, he will not be snob, he will not be arrogant, he should be anav. Otherwise, it's a problem. Rabotai, now you understand why Hashem, he wants us this fight against the Hametz. Why 9 days a year, a fight against the bread? Because this bread is not flat. This bread represents Paro. And it was very important that when we think on Pesach about Hashem, we have to be, the main reason when we left Egypt to receive the Torah. If you want to receive the Torah, you have to take off the gaba, the arrogance from your brain. And that arrogance was Paro. Because Hashem wanted to take out this souvenir of Paro from the Bnei Israel. When they left Egypt, they saw how Paro was finished, was completely finished. And they saw how Paro, he proclaimed that there is only Hashem. This is Now, my friend, the tzara of Gava, it's not only on Pesach, my friend, yes or no? The Gava, it's all year. So only on Pesach we think about not to be arrogant. Well, the answer is, this is the reason why every day we remember Yetziat Mitzrayim. Every day, you see Kriyat Shema, you talk about the exit of Egypt. You do Birkat Hamazon, you talk about the exit of Egypt. Every day, maybe 10 times a day, we remember the exit of Egypt. Why? If you want to serve Hashem, you have to remember Paro. Remember what it was Paro, what he said Paro, what he did Paro, what was his end. When you think about that, so it's finished. You know, my friend, 2 weeks ago, last Friday, about 10 days ago, it was the first time that I've been a lot of funerals in my life. But when they buried my brother-in-law, Yaakov Hafi Alav Shalom, when I know him very well, I know him for 48 years. When I saw the way they buried him, and I saw him 2 hours before he passed away. 2 hours. I was by him. He was normal. With Bemet, he was normal. It was normal. We talked for a few minutes. 2 hours later, he passed away. And Sunday, when they buried him, I thought to myself, what's the purpose of this life? To finish like that. It's better not to come to this world, to finish this. Well, my friend, we have no answer for that question. Even Beit Shammai, they said to be Hillel, it's better that a man was not born than that he will be born. And Hillel said, they said, no, it's good that the man was born, because he can serve Hashem. But Beit Shammai said, no, what the purpose to be born? Maybe he will not correct himself. Maybe he will die as a Rasha. So what the purpose to be born? And at the end, Beit Hillel, they said to Beit Shammai, you're right. You're right. It's better that a man was not born than he is born. So now that we're here, now we're discussing better the man who was not born than he is born. But now the mitziut, the fact, tachlis, we're here. What can we do? So both of them decided, well, now that we're here, b'di'avad, it's better if we are not here. Now that we're here, well, we have to serve Hashem. And it's a fight. It's a fight that you have to know Hashem, and to make Hashem as a king on you, and you have to be like a matzah, flat one, not to be Ba'al Gava. This is, Rabotai, our purpose in this world, to serve Hashem with dignity, to serve Hashem humbly, to serve Hashem with no arrogance, and this is to be all year like a matzah, all year. The Pesach is to teach yourself to feel the real Yetziat Mitzrayim only by thinking this is the mitzvah of Achilat Matzah. Even if you're not well, you have to take at least a kazait, something of matzah. But the fight against the chametz, the fight against the bread, the fight against all the gava that Paro has, and maybe you are Paro like him. A lot of people, they talk about other people. Look what he did. Maybe you are like him. So by talking about Paro all the time, what he did, how he was, maybe you will find out about yourself. Hey, you are not less than Paro. Maybe you are worse than Paro. You know, people always they look at the problems of the others. They look always at the bad thing, but they don't look about themselves. They don't look. But on Pesach, we have to look not only about Paro, by looking who was Paro, you will find out who are you. And then maybe you will come to a big, you discover something. Well, Be'ez Hashem, let's hope, Be'ez Hashem, that we will understand, Be'ez Hashem, this Pesach, this coming Pesach, what are we? בסדר? ברכה והצלחה, כן.